Could I get a Mint Majesty tea with 2 honeys? And if you guys need a name for the order, can you put a name for the order like Charlie Kirk? Or is that not allowed?
So do you have like we can leave? Okay. Can you go to the window?
Sure. Hello. Do you guys just have like a mint tea?
Mint tea, yeah.
And are you guys like allowed to put names on the order?
We don't have any option to put the name, but if you order through the app, you can change your name.
Okay. Do you guys have like a Sharpie? Yeah, we can't even get a damn tea. Mint Majesty. Damn it! Charlie's gone! Charlie's gone! And I couldn't get a Mint Majesty tea with 2 honeys from Dunkin'. They won't allow you to write Charlie's name on a cup? Jesus! Fuck! Let's all work together and find out a way. The Dunkin' on Clark Street, Chicago, the guy that was helping me with the order, let's find him and get him fired from his job. Let's all work together to get that guy fired. Make sure his family hurts too. Get him arrested. Arrest his family. Yeah. Deport his kids. That's what Charlie would want.
I would say DEI stands for didn't earn it. Fully support a good troll. We are on the verge of a nuclear war with no offense if you guys fought for the Confederacy. That's not trying to. I'm not gonna like give you an inside look into my sex life.
I'm a pansexual barista.
If some drunk frat bro goes in for a kiss and you didn't want it, right Mr. Debate Champion. Is there something wrong with being white? Don't cut in line. Don't be an illegal immigrant. God can use imperfect vessels for righteous and good causes, of which I think he used Donald Trump to help save the country.
In the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's death, I started to wonder how many people have actually seen a Charlie Kirk debate in full, start to finish. Not nearly as many people who've seen his short-form content on the platform known as TikTok. But who of the masses sought to look deeper into the discourse and dig deeper into the discussion? I looked around, yet all I found were thousands of people coming out the woodwork on Facebook, Insta, Snapchat, iFunny to let you know a senseless act of political violence has just taken place, and it was your job to condemn it. My favorite celebs, politicians, and even heroes spoke out against this injustice. They clearly knew he was a husband, a father, and a Christian, amen praise Christ. But it was beyond frustrating to see zero debate highlights or footage of the man our nation has just lost. It hurt that not a single moment from top 10 best debate moments made a national news broadcast appearance. And now if I go to the Charlie Kirk YouTube channel to watch my favorite debate moments, wait, where are all my favorite debate moments? I miss Charlie so much that I want to rewatch my favorite debates, and all I can find is Trump's sombrero meme breaks the left? Bad Bunny is bad for America? Who are these guys? We've lost the greatest debater of mankind and replaced him with this trash? For a man who's debated well over 24 hours, we can't edit together top 100 best debate moments? But no. Instead, his final act will be handing out huge L's at the University of San Diego. Now, why did I watch Charlie Kirk for 24 hours? Why haven't you? This will soon be required viewing for all American students, and it's important for me to stay ahead of the curve. But if you've never seen a Charlie Kirk debate before, let's catch you up to speed. Throughout a Charlie Kirk debate, he's normally discussing one of these 5 major issues: abortion, Christianity, illegal immigration, why you need to vote for Trump right now, and college is a scam. Which, sure, fine. If you're not gonna listen and you're just gonna party...
How about your favorite Jane Austen novel?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
It's a scam.
You're an English major.
Yeah.
And honestly, he's probably just debating abortion, which means he's just relating it back to Christianity. My issue is, a majority of the time, Charlie Kirk isn't really debating. What does a Charlie Kirk event look like? I'm going to assume for the purpose of the discussion, you've never actually watched a full 2-hour unedited debate on his channel. And by titles alone, you'd be led to believe it's a war zone out there. First, the Washington State woke mob, then the woke lies at Michigan State, then the wokies at University of Tennessee. Where does the madness end? And now, of course, Charlie definitely debated. Sometimes. How often was he really using facts and logic to defend his arguments? Not a ton. At Michigan State, where he crushed woke lies, he speaks to 26 college students and only actually debates about 4 of them. What were the other 22 students doing? Agreeing with Charlie Kirk or having him explain concepts he believes to students that also believe them. This was an audience of Christians, Trump supporters, and to put it blunt, dumb college students who like Charlie Kirk, and most of all,
Do you want a hat?
like free hats.
Who here wants a hat?
Charlie loved to frame what he was doing as an open mic discussion forum, constantly bashing liberals for not offering the same. But trust, this was not your Thursday night coffee shop open mic. This was the belly of the beast. This is a MAGA rally.
Kind of looks like a MAGA rally, but...
It's a Christian MAGA rally. I'm not saying he wanted this all the time. It's definitely more entertaining to watch people disagree. It's just harder to find them.
Any disagreements, guys? Anyone?
This format isn't suited for open discussion. It's suited for fans of Charlie Kirk to come up and tell him they're a fan. But let's discuss Charlie's favorite topic and see how he chooses to approach it.
It is never right to justify the mass elimination or termination of people under the guise of saying they're unwanted.
I am so done with the abortion debate. I've watched Charlie Kirk for 24 hours and he was upset about abortion for 23 of them. You cannot debate abortion with Charlie Kirk.
You truly, in your heart of hearts, truly believe that this is a human being. This,
Without a doubt.
without a doubt,
Yes.
this is a dolphin fetus.
I don't think abortion should have ever been an issue that the government or Charlie is involved in, but unfortunately that cat's out of the bag, or the aborted baby's out of the womb. I don't know how the saying goes. But Charlie really hates abortion. Like, he really hates it.
So you're comparing abortion to the Holocaust?
Absolutely, I am. In fact, it's worse. It's worse.
And this is where it becomes the impossible debate. What are we doing? What are we even debating anymore?
Oh, so small humans, no human rights. Grown humans, human rights.
Like, yeah, sorta. Big humans should get at least a little more, right? Charlie debates abortion by just constantly reminding you there's a little human inside there and you're a murderer. Well, call me an insane radical murderer, because I think if you're the size of a cherry or even a lemon, you don't get to make the decisions. Big Mama does. And there's no moral obligation in my mind that the woman has to carry the baby for 9 months regardless. He loves to fearmonger an abortion epidemic, but in 2022, 79% of abortions were before 9 weeks. We're not even calling it a fetus. It's an embryo.
You're using dehumanizing language saying, oh, it's an embryo. No, that's a baby.
Trigger warning, embryo? Charlie prescribes to the belief that if you engage in coitus, you are now contractually obligated to deliver that baby to term. Unlike the rest of you, Charlie is having sex under the eyes of God, in the marital context. Charlie puts himself on a pedestal as the defender of the fetus, the last line of defense against the wokies of Tennessee. My insane radical take is I think not wanting the baby is fine enough. 'Cause babies suck.
First of all, babies are a blessing. Stop talking at them as if they're some sort of annoyance.
Sure, but as far as blessings go, this is a pretty big inconvenience. I'd rather be blessed with like $1 million, and I hate babies and have no money, so this is a nightmare. Yet this is the impossible debate with Charlie, or any Christian for that matter, because you're supporting something worse than the Holocaust, and no one wants to support that. But neither of us are doctors, so let's move on.
Because there is a war on white men in this country, and it's been explicit, and it has been happening.
Riddle me this. Is Charlie Kirk racist? Yes. Definitely, like, pretty racist. He's not just racist, he's lying to you. A lot.
On average, how many times a year would you say a black person killed by police?
Happening
Unarmed.
at least,
It's about 10 a year, right?
So this is completely wrong. In 2024, 93 people killed by the police were unarmed, and 28 of those were black, unarmed. But Charlie doesn't see a problem with this. In fact, he's actually pretty annoyed by it. Even with his own wrong statistic, why should anyone ever be killed by the police? Call me an insane radical. I don't really care if you're armed or unarmed. I don't know what gives a police officer the authority to hand out the death penalty to those they deem fit. In total last year, 1,270 people were killed by the police, with 116 of those resulting due to a traffic stop. This should be a massive deal every single time because I was under the impression we paid the police in order to stop the killings. And in Charlie's own words, they're there to protect and serve. I don't see the protection in killing 116 people over a traffic stop.
So you have a population that dads are not around, that is very, very murderous per population capita, that is very violent, more likely to be involved in gangs.
Dang, Charlie, you know who's extremely murderous per population capita, very violent, and a part of an organized gang? The police! But nobody cares if you're racist anymore. In Charlie's words, racism was so 2020. Get over it, guys. We gotta move on. Anyway, you see what these white guys are up to recently? It's brutal. We gotta make sure these white kids got a dad in the house keeping them in check. At this point, you're probably wondering just how racist was Charlie Kirk. So racist, he was anti-holiday.
Okay, everybody, a lot of people are gonna be saying Happy Juneteenth. It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way to work. Have a good day.
We have a holiday for leprechauns! For frickin' leprechauns! Now, I've been tracking Mr. Kirk's whereabouts long before September 10th, so in the weeks following Juneteenth, I wanted to do my part and fight alongside him in the war against these woke holidays.
Okay, everybody, a lot of people are going to be saying Happy 4th of July. It should not be a federal holiday, and I'm on my way to work. Have a good day.
But let's get to the meat and potatoes. The elephant in the room. The hard-hitting questions we all want the answer to.
Hi, Charlie. My name's Keith Studevin, and I was running What is a Woman?
Anyone looking fine as hell? Probably a woman. But let's hear what Charlie thinks.
An adult human female with XX chromosomes. That's what a woman is.
And of course, this poses the question, what is a man?
To be a man is to have self-control over your fleshly desires and an attitude towards courage and defending those that can't defend themselves, fostering a family towards godly purposes, and picking the fights that the rest of society should not be involved in.
Charlie has a lot of thoughts on men and women and the roles they should play in a Christian society. Over the 24 hours, he told me the secret to a happy life more times than I could count. It's very simple. Get married, have kids, and Christ is king. Is that so hard? But how am I gonna provide for my woman when my girl's making twice my salary? But he understands the female mind better than most, so listen up, ladies.
But women are more emotional. That is how they are wired.
Ladies can get pretty emotional.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Shank. I live as a capitalist, okay? I live what I believe. No. What do? I get charity every single year.
But to fully understand both genders, Charlie sat down with professional swimmer and trans activist Riley Gaines at Freaky San Francisco. Despite her fame and athleticism, it seemed a couple of young debaters were unaware of her accomplishments.
I just want to apologize. I'm not super familiar with who you are. I came to talk to him about religious stuff.
Riley, sorry, I'm not very knowledgeable on what you know, but
Not only were people confused on who she was, I think both Riley and Charlie were totally unprepared for just how freaky San Fran can get.
Dude, you're ugly as shit. You get no and you look like that. Like, why does your face look like that?
This was definitely my favorite debate I watched in the 24 hours due to the volume of political disagreements they encountered, and that must mean the viewer got to watch a good, open, honest, back-and-forth debate as Charlie Kirk intended. Right?
And you know what I think? I think you really want a big black your ass.
Yeah, so people just kept shouting at Riley that she looked trans, which is offensive to both Riley and trans people.
And you look trans too. I just had to say that, yeah.
I think we've also forgotten as a country, it's been lost in the discourse that most trans people aren't athletes. I know a few trans people, not a single athlete.
Your whole kind of thing is trans people, this and that, trans sports. I'm gonna be honest with you, with all due respect, I don't care.
After he says that, someone in the crowd shouts, "What if you have a daughter?" So in this hypothetical, I'm supposed to imagine my imaginary daughter competing against an imaginary trans student? Sounds more exciting than most youth sports. It's just there's 100 bigger issues facing the country, probably 1,000 bigger issues facing the country than this hypothetical. and I'm never going to subscribe to the belief that trans people are dangerous or harmful to anyone. So, speaking of dangerous and harmful, Riley Gaines is the reason I'm here today. She advocates for fairness and justice, so of course she sentenced the killer of Charlie Kirk to a fate worse than death.
His punishment should be locked away in a jail cell for the rest of his miserable, cowardly life, where he is forced to listen to reruns of Charlie's debates, campus events, podcasts, radio shows. When he tries to sleep, Charlie's voice. When he's eating, Charlie's voice. Charlie's voice, Charlie's message, on loop, 24/7.
So that's sort of the reason I'm sitting here today, to get a taste of Guantanamo Bay-style torture from the twisted mind of Riley Gaines. And trust me, Riley, nobody deserves this.
That's not my opinion. It's what the scriptures teach. You have a cross in front of you, so I will talk to you on scriptural basis.
Now, we all know Charlie was a Christian first. That's sort of his whole thing. Wouldn't the country be so much better if we all were Christian? And you'd assume, based on his good Christian values and importance of protection of women in their restrooms, that that would apply to making sure women everywhere are safe from harm, especially from our good friend, Donald J. Trump.
He's literally married to a supermodel. He can have any woman on the world.
Clearly not, when 28 women have accused Donald Trump of sexual misconduct ranging from disgusting to horrific. But we have to remember, who was a close friend of Charlie Kirk since 2018 and would benefit and profit greatly off of a Donald Trump re-election? Well, that man was Donald Trump Jr. That's why it's so crazy to me that people are claiming the goal of Turning Point USA was to foster open and honest discussion. No, it was to get Donald Trump reelected. These students made up their mind 4 months ago when they saw Charlie Kirk's TikTok. They know who they're voting for, and they're ready to listen and cheer for anything Charlie has to say. This is the man who's indoctrinated them to believe trans people are dangerous and we have to stop them, illegal immigrants are dangerous and we have to stop them, and nobody smokes weed at parties?
Very, very rare are people like at a party like, let's go smoke weed together.
He's lying to you! They are smoking weed at parties!
She wants a hat. Can you wear it?
Charlie takes a lot of credit for winning Trump the 2024 election, and he's right. It's in part the fault of Charlie's constant rhetoric that ICE has become the Gestapo, unimaginably more powerful than the police, with a $29 billion budget, violently kidnapping people off the streets and shipping them to inhumane gulags. This is hell. We're living in hell, and Charlie fully supported it.
You know what isn't beneficial? What happened to Lake and Riley? I mean, you're conflating the two.
Laken Riley was a 22-year-old woman violently killed by the hands of an illegal immigrant. Obviously horrific. But in no sense does that argument justify mass deportation and imprisonment. We don't make that argument for any other group of people because it's a stupid racist argument. And here's the thing. We're at a point in the country where the difference between a legal immigrant and an illegal immigrant is ICE throws both in the back of a car. People might think Charlie is ready for anything, but you'd be wrong. There is one topic that always spooks Charlie, and rightfully so. It's the boogeyman. He's so scared, in fact, that he assumes someone is going to mention the boogeyman before they've even said a word.
One thing that I'm here to dispute you on is
Israel?
Trump's executive order to overturn birthright citizenship.
But
let me guess, you're going to disagree on Israel.
No, economics.
And even though I'm a practicing Catholic, I'm not going to ask a question about Israel. You don't have to worry.
Every debate, he's been a staunch supporter of Israel, their ethnic cleansing, and serves as a constant propaganda machine. Obviously, he hates talking about it because everything Charlie claims to stand for, Israel does not. Especially difficult for someone speaking to the youth when 76% of American youth have an unfavorable view of Israel. However, 2 months ago, he voiced those frustrations a little louder. Not his frustration to Israel, but his frustration to the fact that he felt as though he wasn't allowed to say anything against Israel or even question the government's actions.
I have text messages, Megan, calling me an anti-Semite.
What's incredibly interesting about this is a letter was recently revealed that Charlie Kirk sent Netanyahu back in May. The letter expressed Charlie's growing concerns that the state of Israel was losing the propaganda war on American soil. So, of course, Charlie wanted to share a few propaganda tips and tricks that Israel could implement to get the youth back on their side. Because Charlie was hearing from the American youth firsthand and shared that he heard things such as, Israel's an apartheid state. Why does Israel conduct ethnic cleansing? And his whole thing is prove me wrong. And these are very difficult statements to disprove. But let's not pretend Charlie ever really was against Israel. He was against people censoring him and questioning his moral character. Now, it's my personal belief that this letter was released at this time, so when you search Charlie Kirk Israel, all you see is this letter. Nothing else. And none of his ever so slight questioning of the Israeli government and their actions.
It's alright, I just wanted the hat.
I watched Charlie Kirk for 24 hours and all I got was this stupid hat. The assassination of Charlie Kirk is a reflection of the times. And the times are terrible. People are lost and nobody knows what to do, but maybe, just maybe, there's a man out there who does. So for a final time, I'll ask Charlie, what can I do?
There's not much you can do, folks. You have a government that hates you. You have a traitor as the president. Buy weapons. I keep on saying that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.